When I was first invited to speak here today, my first response was, well, thank you for asking. And then I was asked, what is your title? I thought, well, let me get back to you. And it took me a day or two or three. But I thought, there it is. Before I even knew, I'd spoken the title. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. I have deep Southern roots. And the manners that I was taught are deep. It's part of my taproot for life. I open doors for men and women. I help people up and down that I am called to do. I love to greet people. I love to hug you. I like to kiss you, so be careful. It's okay to say no to all of that. But I am a very open door when it comes to you. So thank you for asking me to be here, because we are in this as one. So, beloveds, this is the first Sunday of August, and our center's theme for 2018 is awakening. So every month there has been a supportive theme to go with awakening. And it's awakening through this month, through inquiry. So this month you will be hearing ideas, spiritual concepts from 4 of us who are speaking. The recommended book this month to support awakening through inquiry is titled The Right Questions. Isn't that perfect? And that's by Debbie Ford. So I am pleased to be the first up to bat of Spirit this month. Well, many of you know me by a moniker I gave myself, Wonder Man. Not this one, but this one, because I wonder a lot. I question a lot. I ask a lot of questions. Mostly for myself, because that's where all the answers are, within ourselves. As a result of all these questions, I have been awakened many, many, many times in my life. And I will share the most recent awakening a bit later. But for now, I'd like to begin with the understanding of 2 words. The word awakening and the word inquiry. You with me? I bet you have your own definitions, and that's good. You're thinking. Awakening is to become conscious. It's to become aware of something. And aware is to be watchful, or having or showing realization, perception, or knowledge. So awakening then is to become conscious, to gain knowledge of something. Are you awake? Okay. Now the word inquiry is an examination into facts or principles. It's a request for information. It's a call for more knowledge, a request for information. Awareness through inquiry is obtaining knowledge by requesting information. And in the Science of Mind teaching, there's a statement where we must make a demand of spirit. A demand of spirit. Not a demand, but a rightful call to what is truthfully ours. Science of mind tells us that a demand of spirit is having faith into the demonstration of whatever it is we desire. And on page 157 in the section Understanding Faith, Ernest Holmes writes, spiritual substance is all around us, waiting to be formed. Thus we see what Jesus meant when he said, and I say unto you, ask and it shall be given unto you. The spiritual law must work in compliance with our demand. The divine urge within us is God's way of letting us know that we should push forward and take that which is awaiting our demand. If the good were not already ours in the invisible supply, it would be impossible for us to procure it in any manner. In other words, we couldn't have it if it wasn't already ours as a divine idea within ourselves. We know what our good is. I know what my good is. But sometimes I don't demand of it. Your life is an ever-evolving process, a unique unfolding into a grand awakening. Do you believe that? Into a grand awakening. We have so much good around us. We are the light that brings it into expression through our belief in it. And the more we get lit with this feeling, the greater our feeling of grand awakening. So to have the awakening that you would call grand, guess what? There's a few requirements that I've come up with for me, and you might want to consider these. Number one, you must be aware. Number two, you must inquire. And the third, and probably what needs to come before, during, and after everything we demand, is you must be grateful. So I start with awareness. You must be aware to be consciously conscious. You must notice what you're noticing in life. That's consciously conscious. Notice what you're noticing. Step back a bit from the conflama of life and see, as an observer, what you're emoting into your life. Notice what you're noticing. I've used this before, and I'll say it again. The character Norma Desmond in the movie Sunset Boulevard dramatically states, life is an illusion. Life is an illusion. In other words, everything's temporary. All experience is temporary. We give it a residence if we choose and make it a more permanent feeling. But the truth is, all experience is temporary. That's good news for certain types of things in our lives. This moment is temporary, right here, right now. This place is temporary. And thank God, my lesson is temporary. It doesn't go on and on and on, days and days and weeks and weeks. The smoky air is temporary. The world news, thank God, is temporary, although it seems to be hanging on for whatever it is. The monetary situation, I call it situation, at this center, the appearance of not enough is temporary. Because the truth is, we are always divinely supplied there is always more than enough. And it begins with each one of us. Anytime we demand change, we must change our mind. We must have a grander idea. And we do. We do. Each one here has an idea when the right stimulus is brought into play. And then you say, thank you for asking. Because that invokes the process. That invokes that divine urge within each one of us to rise up and say, here's an idea. And let that out. And let that out. So, how do we begin to notice what we're noticing? What does that maybe look like? I mean, to notice what you're noticing. Well, for me, it's to be aware of the reactions and the feelings that show themselves when you're in a situation. Because those lead us back to our inner beliefs and what we really think is true for us in this situation. And what is so powerful to me is that this or that illusion that's happening is supported by our inner emotions and our feelings and our thoughts. And if we're not mindful, those feelings and emotions and thoughts contribute into your next experience, as your next experience, into your next illusion. So the call is to be mindful. And when we're mindful, it allows us to be even more aware of where we're believing. Ram Dass shares, everything in your life is there as a vehicle for your transformation. Use it. Everything. Everything. And the use it to me is bless it. Use it and bless it. Now, it could be that momentary illusion that gets to pass by. But be grateful it passed by. So, we've discussed transformation. We've discussed illusion. Now we get to talk about inquire. Ask and it is given. Who's heard that before? All you got to do is ask. Well, what is that? Yeah, could I please have some more? I love it when I go to. I'm standing in line at the coffee shop behind a couple of people, and I'm noticing what I'm thinking about what they're saying. Okay, I'm noticing. So, people will step up and say, "Could I have?" I thought, what if they said no? You can't have that. That works. That's kind of polite, but that is not how we ought to approach our demand upon Spirit. Don't beseech. Don't belittle. Don't diminish. Oh, Spirit, could I please have a better life? You could have a better life. That's what you're asking for. It could happen out there. You want to say, I am open and receptive because I know my life is good right now, and I deserve this and even greater. That feels a lot different than, oh, might I have? You think Spirit's going to say, thank you for asking? Maybe. I don't know. Might not get what you want. So as a teacher of this philosophy, I have often been reminded that I am forever the student. Right, Reverend Christine? Forever the student. And as such, I'm allowed to evolve through illusions, left and right, up and down, round and round. And there are times when I wasn't as mindful of what I was noticing around my illusions, and my life became like the whirling dervish. I mean, it was like spinning out of control. Well, I haven't been whirling in a while, but I want you to know that I attribute it to being mindful, to being more conscious, to paying special attention to my spiritual practices. And when I'm faced with any illusion, and that's almost everything in life, no matter where it is, no matter what it is, I affirm, God is at the center of this. And I demand my good of spirit be realized now. If not this, then something greater. Now, I always add that. This or something greater. Because we never, I mean, we can know it, that it's there, but we don't know what it is that's there. Might not be able to put a name on the greater that's going to happen for us and come to us. Now, recently, like on Monday, I have a current realization and demonstration of the power of God realized in my life. So this is fresh. And so as I tell you about this, I ask you to notice what you're noticing. All right? I ask you to notice what are your first reactions, responses, ideas, or feelings that come up for you as I share what I refer to as getting beyond the illusions. That's the name of this, getting beyond illusions. All right? Many of you know in the first part of April of this year, I sold my house and began that whole process of divesting, moving, clearing. What a lot of illusions. Oh my God. What a bunch of demonstrations that I kept dragging along and gathering and piling up. And so to let go of a lot of that was emotional. It was clearing, felt good, it felt sad, it felt glad. I sold some things, that felt good. And so all of that illusion started whirling and twirling. The whirling dervish of change, of new, of letting go, of being in the moment. Oh my God, thank you, James. And so, he's still here. And so, I began making a list of what I require, my demand of spirit for the next residence, for my next living space. And it wasn't just mine, because I invited James in to, because we'll share this situation, this space. And so it's important for me to have a common agreement. So, we've been looking for 6 or 8 months, going through, yeah, no, yeah, this is good, but not clarifying. So finally, we found the perfect floor plan and began the process of playing house, choosing all of the materials to customize this home. and then put our name in for a lot to reserve. The lot became available, down payment went down, we signed the papers the 23rd of July. 24th, we get notice. Oh my gosh, there's a easement into the back of the property of 21 feet. Notice what you're noticing. I said, wow, look at that, And we had already informed we wanted a certain landscaping plan, a pool, a this, a that. And so we're on the lot and we're looking, and pretty soon we both say, I don't know. So a letter, a demand, a request was written. And we chose a different space, different lot, within, it's about 7 houses, 7 lots down. Hadn't been released yet. We didn't care. That's the one we wanted. Well, the 24th, the very next day after the demand, we get notice that, well, we'll have to send this to the builder. Okay. That afternoon came good news. We were given, every single box was checked on our list, and the same timeline for completion. So the greater good of that was we had not said, the greater good was the unknown completion date. Because we thought, oh, it's going to be into next year. It's going to be into June. It's going to be December. Merry Christmas. They're stepping up the building process. So we totally let that go, because I always say, this or something greater. This is our stepping stone. This is our nugget of process into what is rightfully mine. And so it was a result of inner work. And I say that because we did all of our inner work with the house by choosing the insides. We were very clear about what we wanted inside. It didn't have to be here or even that house. We had chosen the inside. We had worked on the inside. So what I'm telling you today is awaken your inside. Choose, be clear, what supports you? What is your inner home? How is it? What are its features? So I've been awakened in a brand new way, don't you know? And James has been awakened too. I think he's awake. Or it's that shock look. Okay, so number 3 is gratitude. Oh, good. Lots of time. Another hour and a half. Notice what you're noticing. Number 3 is gratitude. An attitude of gratitude is most salutary. You've heard that before too. But I'd like to remind us of these very important parts of our spiritual self. Living in an appreciative atmosphere mentally is the place of God's grace. Savor it. Henry David Thoreau wrote, "Behave so the aroma of your actions may enhance the general sweetness of the atmosphere." So, beloveds, I invite you to move through the illusions and know you are here to live in the heart of who you are, which is pure spirit, evolving into more of itself, yourself, with each experience. And as my lesson nears conclusion, I invite you to close your eyes and open to an atmosphere of gratitude while I share a reading It's titled, For Celebration. Now is the time to free the heart. Let all intentions and worries stop. Free the joy inside the self. Awaken. Awaken to the wonder of your life. And open your eyes and see the friends whose hearts recognize your face as kin. Those whose kindness, watchful and near, encourages you to live everything here. See the gifts the years have given, things your effort could never earn. The health to enjoy who you want to be, and the mind to mirror mystery. So take a breath and savor. Savor this moment. And when you're ready, bring your awareness back to the space and open your eyes. So I'd like to conclude here with an affirmation. I'd like us all to join in. Repeat after me, please. My life is an ever-evolving process, a unique unfolding into a grand awakening. Thank you. I leave you with a question. Wonder Man wants to know. And ask you to repeat with me the answer. Are you ready? Here's the question. How are you? And here's the answer. I'm aware. I'm grateful. And thank you for asking. Namaste. And so it is.